we got days versus driving time. So imagine you just got your license. Okay? The more days that pass since today, okay, are you going to drive more or less? If you just got your permit today, okay, yeah, you're going to drive more, right? And if you think about it, when you're 15 versus when you're 18, when do you think you're going to drive the most?
17 or 16.
Yeah, something, okay, you're going to have a job or whatever. You have to drive back and forth to school. Okay, so which one is independent? The days is independent. You're always going to have days of the week, no matter what. Okay? So independent is going to be days. And the dependent, I don't know why I wrote it on. The dependent is going to be the driving. Okay? Describe what happens in the graph. Now look at your graph. The more days that pass, what happens to the driving time? It goes up. Okay, we can see, like, if you were to look at day one, okay, which is right here, maybe you only drove a little bit, a couple hours. And then maybe by day 5, you're driving a lot more. And by day whatever, okay, you're driving a whole bunch. So, more days equals, we could say, more driving. Okay, so we got price of item versus our grocery bill cost. Okay, which one is independent? The price of items in this case is dependent. Okay, sometimes I don't want you guys thinking that this one's always independent because it's not. Okay, so the price of items is independent. We'll say price. And the dependent then is going to be your bill. Okay? Describe what happens in the graph. Okay, so what happens as our price of items increase? What's happening with our grocery bill? It's going down. Okay, we can see that up here, okay, our items are up here. My grocery bill's up here. As I continue, if my price of items, okay, my grocery bill is going to go down. Does that make sense, though? No. Okay, and I drew that one on purpose because not all of them are going to make sense. You would think that the higher price of items, what would happen to your grocery bill? It would go up. So this one doesn't actually even make sense, but that's okay. Okay, we're reading the graph. So, the higher price bill goes down. I mean, it does kind of actually make sense though, because groceries have went drastically up in probably the past year. So most people are like more conscious about what you're putting in your damn cart at the grocery store. Okay, because you only have so much amount of money. Can I scroll? Okay, we got the area of the room, the amount of paint in a can. Okay, so the area of the room means if my room's only this big versus if my room's this big. Okay, what's going to happen to my paint in the can? Okay, so what is independent? What is dependent? Which one's independent? Area of the room is independent. Okay, the area of the room is the area of the room. That doesn't depend on how much paint I have. okay? My room is the same size no matter whether I bought 1 paint can or 50 paint cans. The area or the size of my room is the same, okay? Okay, so then our dependent variable is the amount of paint. Okay, so as the area of our room increases, what's happening to the amount of paint I have in a single can? It goes down. Okay, and that does make sense. So if I have a bigger room, I might start off with a full can of paint, but the more I paint, I have less paint in the can. Okay, so the bigger, we can say the bigger the area, less paint. I tried to make most of them like make sense, though, honestly. Okay, look at the last one. So we got height and age. Which one is independent? Age is independent. You're gonna get older no matter what. Okay, but is your height dictate on that? Not really, because there's like a freaking, some kids are just short, and they'll probably always be short. Okay, there's one girl, I don't even know. There's a freshman, what's her name? Wilson. LaKayla, right? She's short. She's tiny. If you guys ain't seen her, she's like this tall. Okay, her sister ain't grown. I don't think she's gonna grow. It don't matter whether she's 20 or 14. Girlfriend's always gonna be short. Okay, so I think she's done growing. I don't know if she's tall enough to get her driver's license. Okay, so our independent variable is gonna be our age, no matter what we get older. Okay, but we may or may not get taller. Okay. Okay, but your height does kind of depend on your age. Because are you going to have a baby come out 6 foot tall? No, heck no. Okay, it's going to increase, but I don't think you should have a baby that's 6 foot tall. So your height does somewhat depend on your age. Okay, but not all the way. Okay, so describe what happens in the graph. As we age, what typically happens to our height? We get taller to a certain point, right? Eventually you're done growing. Okay, so as age goes up, height goes up.